Hello and welcome to Lesson 2 of Higher Computing Science, Web Design and Development. It's design today. By the end of this video, you'll be able to design a navigational structure and you'll be able to design a user interface using a wireframe. Design is the second stage. Usually you would analyze first, so you know what your website needs to do, you know what the users want from the website. Now it's time to design the website. The two things you can design are the navigational structure and the layout of each page using a wireframe. The way that you navigate the website can differ depending on the type of website, depending how the web developer intended the user to navigate the website. I'm going to show you three of the most common ones. Linear, it's actually not common at all, but it's an easy one to understand. It's where you visit one page and there will be a link to the next page, and on that next page there will be a link to the next page. So you traverse through the website in a linear fashion from one page to the next, and it's kind of guided. It would be really good if it was like an online book or comic and you want the user to go from one page at a time to the next. In this example, it looks as though you can go backwards and forwards because there's no arrow indicating which direction these links go. So in this case, it looks like it goes backwards and forwards. But you couldn't, for example, go from this page, page 1, to the last page. You would have to traverse through each of these pages in a line. Next up, we have hierarchical. This is where we have a structure with a page at the top, which would be the main page, the home page, index.html. And on that index.html page, there would be subcategories, or there would be main categories on it. And within each category, there may be further links. Most websites will have this appearance, even if they're not truly a hierarchical website structure. But what you would usually see is a number of main categories that would appear on every page, at least on, in this case, these four main pages, these main categories. You would see this navigational structure on all of these, and they would be visible at all times. What usually would happen, the reality would be that they would have a mesh or a web structure where each page is linked to every other page in the website. So no matter where you are in the website, you should be able to reach every other page that's on the website. This is what usually happens, especially on smaller websites, but once they get much larger, it could be a mixture of a mesh/web and a hierarchical structure. Here's an example of this illusion that there is a hierarchical structure. Here we can see on the BBC News website that there are main headings across the top here. So we've got, ignoring the sort of really topical ones right now, we've got climate, UK, world, business, politics, etc. If I click on world, we can still see business, politics, climate, etc. I could click on business, I still see these main headings, climate, UK, world, business, politics, etc. Sometimes these are hidden depending on which page you're on. Sometimes they reappear. But the point is, I could go from any article in this website, I can still get to these categories no matter where I am in the website. So it gives the illusion that it's a hierarchical structure, but it's kind of a mesh or a web where we can get from anywhere to anywhere else. And once you start including search bars, of course you can get anywhere, because once you search for something, you can just go directly to those pages. That was just an example, but we do have linear, hierarchical, mesh. Usually when designing your structure, you would refer to a hierarchical structure. Let's take a look. Here's a website that I'm going to make called My Life. This is the design so far. There will be main categories across the top. There's a link to the home page, and there will be a sport, a music, a study, and a drama page, because I also studied drama apparently. Or maybe I just have lots of drama in my life. When designing this navigational structure, I would have my home page at the top, and in this yellow shaded area, I have my main categories: sport, music, study, and drama. These four links, because they're in this yellow shaded area, these would appear on every page in the website. So I could always navigate to these four categories. According to this design, I can only get to the quiz page if I'm already on the study page. Hopefully this makes sense, but this is how a design would appear in an SQA past paper or in a coursework. So that covers navigational structure. When it comes to user interface design, once you've got the navigational structure, you can think about the appearance of each individual page. This is where wireframes come in. You can see an example here, and this is provided by the SQA. It's for penny high activities. It's the menu page. You can see that there will be a heading here. It's in a box. There will be an image up in the top right corner. There's some navigational area here with some links. And you see that all images have a box with a cross through it, and it has the file name included. Sometimes you could see the dimension as well. For example, if this was 250 pixels square, it might say 250px times 250px. So the dimensions. Notice that the text itself isn't always included. It might just say intro text or daily message text or contact details text. We're designing here. We're not actually making the content. We're just illustrating the layout and the position of each element in this page. But you could include the text if you wanted. Like you could include the actual text that would appear for these links. You could include the heading if you wanted to. In this case, it's not there. It states that it is a heading, but you could if you wanted to. As it says here, every single page needs a wireframe. If you're including a page, you need to design that page. Because consistency is usually a good thing, you might think, well, what's the point of designing every single page if they all have the same layout? In that case, you could use one design for multiple pages, or if you have a single consistent element, for example, in this design, we have the heading, a logo, and then the navigation, that would be consistent across the entire website. And then on each individual page, I'll show the layout of these individual pages. So the home page gets some intro text, a graphic, and more information. The about page would have lots of text and an image down in the bottom right. So you don't have to redesign the heading area every single time. So now that you've seen navigational structure design and user interface design using wireframes, we'll look at implementation next. The best one. I'll see you then.